Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sundays with Steve. Sunday Stories with Steve. This Father's Day, a big shout out to all the fathers out there who are an influence in their children's lives. Happy Father's Day to you. Being a father is not an easy task. There's a saying that I heard that says that anybody can conceive, any man and woman can conceive a child, but it takes someone special to be a mother and a father, and that's true. And big shout out to our fathers today. And on that topic of Father's Day, I want to talk about what I learned from my father, and what I passed on to my kids because of what I learned from my father. My dad, when I was 12 years old, he took a new job. We lived in Texas, and he took a new job with a company, and we moved all over the western United States because of this company that he was working with at the time. We had to move everywhere, and we sacrificed everything. We sold everything that we had in Texas, and we moved. I believe the first place that we moved to was Utah, and with a little trailer and a little car, and off we went. Because my dad, we sat down and talked as a family, and we made it a goal that we wanted to reach this goal and work together as a family to acquire a store, to be able to become store operators of this company that my dad was working for. And so we did that. Off we went, and we had some struggles. It was financially. My mom and dad had 5 boys. I have 4 brothers, and he was making $5.25 an hour with 5 boys. And as you can tell, or as you would imagine, we had some struggles as a family financially from that standpoint, because I remember my dad had to work. He was working 2 jobs. He worked at the grocery store that he was working at. He worked there from 6 to 2 or 3 in the afternoon, sometimes 4. And then at 6 o'clock in the evening, he would go and work at a service station, at a gas station. And he worked there until 1 or 2 in the morning, and then he would go home, get some sleep, and do it all over again the next day. And I remember there were times that for dinner, when he would clean the frozen yogurt machines, and he emptied those out, that's what we had for dinner, was frozen yogurt. I remember having sometimes, the grocery store that he worked at, when there was cut bags of chips or bread or whatever the case, any food that was damaged, sometimes he'd bring that home, and that's what we had for dinner. I remember we had potato chip and mustard sandwiches multiple times. And, at the time that we were going through it, I remember thinking to myself, why are we doing this? Why are we having to have potato chip and mustard sandwiches for dinner? Why doesn't my dad just do something different, something else? And it was because what he was doing was, he had set a goal. He had said, this is what we're going after, and we're going to do whatever we have to do to get to that goal, and sacrifice whatever we need to sacrifice that's within, without sacrificing our morals and who we are. But we're going to sacrifice physical things, material things, and some time, and we're going to go and we're going to do this. And so for 3 years, we went through this until my dad finally got the promotion that he was looking for, and him and my mom became store operators. And eventually we ended up moving here to Washington, and their financial struggles disappeared. They stopped. We didn't have financial struggles anymore. In fact, they went from financial struggles to abundance. And what I learned from watching my dad do whatever he needed to do, the example that was set to me was, make a decision that you're going to do something and go and do it. Whatever you're going to go through, you go and do it. If you're going to decide to do it, then do it. And do whatever you have to do, go through whatever you have to go through to make it happen. And so I did that. I took what I learned from him, and I applied that to my own life and the career that I'm in now. When I first started in that career, holy cow, it was rough. I mean, it was tough. There were years that, I mean, I didn't know how I was gonna feed my family, and I was asking myself, is this worth it? You know, is it worth it going through what I'm going through at this point in time and putting my family, what I'm putting them through, for the end result? And I can tell you now that it absolutely was. It absolutely was worth it. But a story that sticks out in my mind about going through that is my oldest son, Colby. His first year of football, he wanted to play youth football, and his first year, he, at one of the practices, I remember, he got hit pretty hard. I mean, he got lit up. And he was laying on his back on the football field crying. And I remember something inside of me just welled up, and I went over to him and I said, "Son, you have a choice here. You can either lay on this football field crying and get up and finish practice, or you can get up and finish practice. But you are not going to sit here and cry on this football field, and you are not going to quit. You're going to do whatever you have to do to play football, because that's what you said you were going to do in the beginning. And that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. That doesn't mean it's not going to be painful. That doesn't mean you're not going to cry. It doesn't mean you're not going to get hurt. All those things make it that much sweeter." And I grabbed him by the face mask. He stood up and he finished practice. And he went on, and he was a heck of a football player. He loved playing football. He loves playing sports, baseball. And I look at him now, and I see him applying that lesson on that football field in his life today. I see him do it with his hunting, the things that he's passionate about. I see him do it with his hunting. I see him do it with his fishing. He does it with his job. He does it in life. And that's the message, guys. The message is, it is hard sometimes to make a decision. It's scary to make a decision. It takes courage to make a decision. But when you make a decision, do whatever you got to do to follow through. That means get up. Don't expect not to get knocked down. Expect to get knocked down. Everybody gets knocked down. That's part of the process. If you're not getting knocked down, you're not trying. So getting knocked down is a good thing. You just got to get back up. Because in life, you're going to get knocked down. You're going to get hit hard, just like Colby was on that football field. But you got to get back up. You get back up and you keep going. You get back up and you keep going. And right now, there's a portion of our society who doesn't want to go through those hard times. They don't want to go through those challenges, face that pain. They don't want to go through the things that they have to go through in order to feel that success. They're entitled. They want it given to them. They want everybody else to give it to them. They have a victim mentality. That's sad to me that that's where they're at. And I look at a lot of people who have that attitude and who have that mentality, and they didn't have a father in their life to teach them that that's not how we live life. They didn't have a father to tell them, get up. You got a choice to make here. And that choice is, you're either going to get up and you're going to finish, or you're going to get up and you're going to finish. And that's it. There is no other choice. That's one of the things that fathers bring to their children. And a lot of people in society, they may have had a father, but they didn't have a father who taught them that. And I'm grateful for my father that did teach me that. And I know there's a lot of people out there who had fathers that taught them those life lessons. And today we celebrate them. So happy Father's Day to everybody. I want to give a shout out to my grandmother in Dallas. Hola, abuelita. But guys, make a decision. Have the courage and the faith to move forward with that decision and do whatever you have to do to make it happen. And it'll happen for you. It will. keep the faith. All right, guys. Later.